Holly and Diane will be 4 years old on November 11th of this year. There was always an itch and a little tap in me that wondered what was out there for our family. I didn't think it would happen this quick. We decided to try, and I marked on the calendar like when we should try, and I got pregnant in 2 weeks. We have known since 10 weeks because I am considered like geriatric, which I will be 40 in December. So I'm not a spring chicken as far as child rearing goes. So if you're new here, my husband is a potter, a ceramicist, as he likes to say. And when I met him, he was trying to make that work, but it didn't work really well. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rachel, and we are here at Turn of the Century Antiques, which is a doll shop out in Denver, Colorado. And it is also home of virtual doll convention where we do all kinds of wonderful doll things all year round and put it on the internet. We're your doll besties. We love you so much, and we're so glad you're here. This is a talking video. I always miss doing talking videos, and week after week, for the last 3 months, I have been wanting to do a catch-up video, and I could not. And we're going to talk about some of the reasons why. In fact, most of you watching probably know why, but we are going to catch up. So if you're new here, I'd love to know who you are. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're one of my besties that has been with us since the beginning or has been with us for several years, let me know if you're here. I always love seeing you. I miss you so much. And I have been missing chatting with you so much because there is so much we need to talk about. And I think about what we need to talk about throughout the day all the time. And I just don't even, I think we'll start at the beginning. So we have a lot going on with the business and with the doll shop, but with me personally. And let's start at the beginning. So in the last video, I think I remember in the last talking video, I had said that we were thinking about maybe trying to have another baby. But my specific words were that I was going to put a pin in that because for a lot of reasons. For me personally and physically, and how busy I am and what I am trying to manage day by day, working and being a mom, and running a company that is very important to my life and to my identity and to my balance as a human being. And a lot of things come into play with the decision, at least for us and for me and for Derek and for our family, of whether to expand your family. We took that very seriously, but at the core of it, and when I really leveled with myself every single day, and believe me, I thought Holly and Diane will be 4 years old on November 11th of this year. 4 years old, can you believe it? Many of you watching right now, you watching me right now, I'm sure, have been with me since before I even got pregnant the first time. And you have watched that little child grow up in the doll shop and seen everything that we have done over the years together. And she will be 4, which is so wild. But I have thought about it for the last couple of years. And there were a couple times when I thought, you know what, we're just going to be happy with what we have. We're very busy as it is. And we're just going to be really grateful for what we have. And I said that multiple times because we do pour a lot into our child, and we have loved every minute. But also when you expand, there's double of everything to do. You have to have your energy going all these different ways. And so I just really thought about it. And also her school that she goes to is quite expensive. And so but at the heart of it, so I'm like talking about all the reasons why we would have said no, but at the heart of it, there was always an itch. There was always an itch and a little tap in me that wondered what was out there for our family. And so the last time we caught up, I said I was going to put a pin in that. And then I can't remember what exactly happened, but I had a really hard week with our business at the doll shop. And it was around the time there was like a lot of tariff stuff going on. There was a lot of ups and downs, and we were having all this stress. And I thought, and we're not even in the question of not being in business or whatever, but I thought, what if one day I wasn't? And what would I want to have? And that wasn't just the reason, of course. I also happen to love babies and children, and we have had the time of our lives with Holly and Diane. But I thought about what really matters outside of everything else that I'm doing. And I just decided. So I didn't think it would happen this quick, but and we're besties here, so I can talk about the nitty gritty. We decided to try, and I marked on the calendar like when we should try, and I got pregnant in 2 weeks after we decided to try. What a blessing, right? What a blessing. So I ended up announcing to the world on Facebook, on social media, that we were going to start to try. And at that point we had been that we were in that 2-week time frame. And within, I don't know, a couple days of that post, I was pregnant. And it was pretty wild because I went to UFDC and saw so many of you, and I was just floored with so much of the amazing support that I received from so many people telling us good luck, and we're rooting for you, and we're so happy for you, just at the prospect, just at the idea. And I was already pregnant at that point, and I didn't even know. But what tipped me off was, before you have like your missed period or anything, like none of that had happened yet. But when we were at UFDC, there was just a couple times when the team, we'd be like working and everyone's like doing fine, but I had to stop and I would get this like wave of exhaustion. And then there was, when we were at the Berry Museum filming, everyone else on our team was fine, but I started to get super like lightheaded and hungry, like out of the blue. And I had to stop and eat whatever I had in my purse, which was a packet of M&Ms and a protein bar. And I just remember looking at them being like, how are you guys not hungry? Like, why is it only me? And then I was just like, and then I went through the rest of the trip, just still getting tired. But then a few days after we got home, I had another one of those waves of exhaustion. And the only time I've had those giant waves of exhaustion, or the eating part where it's like, it feels like an emergency, like I have to eat right now, was when I was pregnant. And so I started taking pregnancy tests, and I took them. I think I had taken like 4 or 5, and they were all negative. So I just thought, well, it's just stress, it's just travel. I remember I came back to work after UFDC and I told Christopher, well, I've been feeling kind of funky, but I'm not pregnant, so I don't know what it is. And you can be pregnant and it doesn't show up on a test just yet. And that's what happened to me. So I went about my life for another week, and then it was on a weekend. I think it was on a Sunday or something, I can't remember. But I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to try one more time and get that negative and see what it says. And it came flaming up positive. And I wasn't like in shock because we were trying, but you're still like shocked when you finally find out. And I was just so excited. And I went downstairs and I told Derek, and we were just over the moon because we had just decided, and I didn't know if it would take 6 months or if it would take a year. We got really lucky conceiving with Holland Diane like immediately the first time, and we conceived immediately again. So I mean, here we are. So what happened after that? I found out when I was about 6 weeks, actually, or no, 5 weeks. I don't know the exact timing, but it was pretty early on. And what tipped me off too was also the missed period after that, but I was still testing before even that should have happened because of the different symptoms and stuff. Oh, and I had insomnia too. So I'd wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning on the dot every night. And that only happened when I was pregnant too. Every time 3 a.m. Let me know if that happened to you, if you have been pregnant or given birth. The pregnancy insomnia was a big one. So that was happening too. So I found out, and within 4 or 5 days after that, the symptoms hit me hard. They hit me so hard, unbelievably hard, harder than ever with Holland Diane. And with Holland Diane, I didn't throw up one time. There was a couple times that I was a little nauseous and I thought, ooh, it would feel good if I did, or I feel like it, but I didn't actually throw up with Holland. And with this pregnancy, I have thrown up during this time. So it was about a 4-week period where it was like at its worst. And there were days that I was just, I don't know, throwing up 8-9 times a day. Just super, super sick. And so with that, I couldn't work. I would come down here and try to get as much done as I could for like an hour and a half and delegate and show everyone what to do and what we were trying to do and get labels printed and do what I could do. But then I just had to go home. But the hardest part about it was that it was really taxing on me mentally while I was in it, because I had also never experienced anything to that level before. While I was in it, I was thinking that it was going to last the whole time. When I was in it, I felt like it was going to last forever. And it was really hard to be excited about the pregnancy when you're just so sick and having such a hard time trying to just take care of your own normal life. Well, all of this is happening inside your body, like your body's being taken over. And I felt trapped, and it was really hard. And so the first thing I did was get into therapy, and it helped so much, because what I went through and what I'm going through right now is very, very, very normal, very, very, very common. But to have somebody else that I could talk to and just talk about that and share those feelings and develop coping mechanisms and figure out ways to get from one point to the next and just cope the best that I could, it really helped, because I thought, if I'm having all these feelings now, am I going to have more feelings in the future? I never dealt with anything such as postpartum depression or anything with Holland Diane, but then I thought, like, this is so different. I need to get ahead of this, because I don't want to go downhill. I was already downhill. I was having a really tough time, and I didn't want to slide further or have it snowball or have it turn into something else and just develop all these problems, which I like saw myself going there. And that was also part of the issue, was like doom thinking, like all this bad stuff is going to happen. So the therapy really helped. I got into therapy at 9 weeks. And that was when I had to see my doctor. So we saw the doctor for the first time and saw the ultrasound and saw the heartbeat, and the baby looked so healthy and everything was so good. And at that appointment, I was like, I need some additional support. And so she recommended a therapist, and I got into weekly therapy immediately, and it really helped a lot. And I'm still in weekly therapy. In fact, I just graduated to every other week, because I don't have as much to talk about in my sessions, because I am doing a lot better now. So thankfully, and I also let the internet know, I let everybody know when we were pregnant, the day of that first appointment. So the first appointment that I had with the doctor, where they confirmed the pregnancy, they said I was at 9 weeks. At that point, I knew I was pregnant, way before that. But that's when we took the pictures at the restaurant and let everybody know. And the reason I did that is because I didn't want to hide it. I wanted to suffer on the internet with you. Like I wanted you to know what was going on in my world, and so that I could share that and have it not be this big secret. A lot of times women will not share their pregnancies until 12, 13 weeks, 14 weeks, because the risk of miscarriage is a lot higher in those first weeks. And I totally get that. With Holland Diane, we didn't share until 17 weeks. And I remember it wasn't that hard actually to hide it with Holland Diane, because I also wasn't super sick, and I just kind of posted as usual. I just posted a lot of pictures from here up, or I'd post pictures where I was carrying something, and I also didn't show that quickly as I am showing now too. I started showing it, I don't know, probably 10 weeks, 11 weeks. Some days it looks a lot bigger than it is, but I'm definitely showing now. And I'm also to the point, through therapy and through feeling better and just working on myself every single day, that we're now really happy. We've always been happy about the pregnancy, but it was hard during those days where I was chained to my room, and I couldn't even sit there and watch shows and enjoy myself. I would actually just lay in a dark room with a fan with like nothing and just try and keep liquids down. So when you're in a season and a space like that, it's really hard to like dream about the future and get so excited, because you're just trying to get from minute to minute. And it humbled me a lot, because I just realized that I need to take care of this was beyond my control. So it wasn't like I need to take care of myself better, but be gentler on myself. But as a go-getter and as a woman that likes to get up and do things and have all the laundry done and keep our house looking nice and go on adventures with my daughter and run a business and answer all my emails, like to be taken away from that was really difficult. And it is hard, because as women who are pregnant, and also like if you're a stay-at-home mom, and you've got other children, you're raising kids while you're doing all that, which to me is more work than my day job. It truly is. But you're doing your entire life, and then you're also doing this thing, which is making another human inside your body. And I read somewhere that making a child inside your body is the most taxing thing that a human body can go through. It's more than like running marathons and stuff like that. And then there's pregnant women out there who actually run marathons. But this one has been a lot different for me. So I actually got a treadmill for the doll shop that's over here, because at night I get so extremely tired that it's really hard to do anything. So I've been really trying to stay healthy, and I halfway through the day will take like 20-30 minutes and just walk on the treadmill. And at first I thought, oh, that would be weird for the team. Everyone's working and then I'm on the treadmill. But I really have to take care of myself physically and mentally so that I am able to continue to run the company and do everything that I need to do. And everyone here has been so supportive of that. So I was really glad to find a treadmill, and just, you know, moving your body is just so good for your body and good for your mind. So there were weeks when I was super sick that my step count for the day would be like 25 steps, which is going to the bathroom and back, maybe going to get a bowl of cereal, going to the front door, and that's it for the day. And then as I got better and as I started to feel better, my steps for the day would go up to 800, 900. All last week I had, my goal is to have over at least 5,000 a day. And last week and this week, except for yesterday when I felt really sick, I've been meeting that, like getting 5,000 to 8,000 a day, which means I went for like a 45-minute walk, and then I did all the normal walking of the day. So I'm really, really proud of that. And that has been really good. And the fact that I'm just even on a video right now. There was during that 4 weeks where it was really bad, but then the last 6 or 8, like just to even do the normal things. Like when we were filming the gathering dress Grace video, I wanted to do it so bad. And I was so excited to do the video and to chat with you guys and to launch that product. But in order to do that video, I literally had to step outside of my body. And I came to the doll shop and we filmed, and I left immediately. And that was all I did that day. And I feel so incredibly blessed every single day. In fact, I have actually teared up several times thinking about other women just in the world or just in different situations that do not have the capacity to do what I have done. Like, it just makes me feel so blessed that I was able to come and film a video and do enough to keep the company going, and then go home and be sick the rest of the day. Like, if you don't have that choice, women are just so strong because you just keep going. And during all those times when I was really sick and Derek had to work late and stuff, I still I'd give myself a pep talk. I would have Gatorade. I'd like, when I couldn't keep anything down, I'd have a spoonful of peanut butter, and I'd be like, Rachel, you were going to go pick up your child from school. You were going to do what you need to do. And so like every day I still did all of those things, and I actually still kept all the laundry done too. That's pretty darn good, but you just have to be really strong, and you just do it. You just do it. But also you got to give yourself a little bit of grace. And that was hard for me at times because I wanted to do everything. And I still want to do everything. So we are right now in the midst of launching our subscription series and getting everything done and trying to get our dolls and dealing with products and tariffs and all kinds of crazy stuff. And we're in the middle of it. And right now we have just launched the Elowen subscription. We just closed season 4 of the Grace subscription. We are working really hard to get the subscription ready. We are waiting on the December sample. As soon as that December sample looks good and is in production, which is the December box, then we can launch Anne. But we have not had updates, and I have not put any updates out because I don't know what to say, because we need to get that outfit, and we've been working on it really hard. We're super close. In fact, by the time this airs, we probably have an answer on that. But it's been like a whole thing of getting the clothing amidst all the stuff, getting the boxes amidst all the stuff, and things are good. We're getting all of our things, and because we have such a core base of customers and dedicated customers that buy our products over and over again, month after month, we've been able to absorb the tariffs and keep our prices steady. Yes, it has been absolutely hard. Yes, I have thought this is not sustainable at times. And then we actually got a tariff bill last month or not last week, that was one of our biggest ones yet. That was very unexpected. There's just a lot to be grateful for all of the time. And every day I just count myself so incredibly lucky that I get to do this and get to do this for a living, also while being pregnant and trying to make another baby and all of that. So that's an update on that. We will have a better and bigger update once we get a better handle on things, but I just want you to know that everything is in the works, and as soon as we can announce something, we definitely will. Speaking of announcements, I've had a lot of questions on if we're going to announce the gender of this baby, and yes, we absolutely are, but I want to share with you that we are, for Holland Diane's 4th birthday, we are taking a quick trip to Disney World, and we are so excited. I just hope I'm well. Yesterday, I couldn't even come to work. I had lower back pain, which I had in my first pregnancy, and I never have the rest of the time, but I had it in my first pregnancy. But everything in this pregnancy has been magnified, and so it was so bad I was actually crawling until about 1 o'clock, and then it started to get a little better. I'm a little more sore today, but nothing like yesterday. But I just hope that we can enjoy this trip and I don't have horrible back pain, because I want to so badly go on a trip while we're still a family of 3 and to also enjoy it. And I planned it earlier than later because I didn't want to be like trying to navigate a park or getting on rides. And I'm only going to go on pregnancy safe rides, of course, but trying to do a theme park when you're 8 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant, like no way. I don't even want to fly. But at the time that we take this trip, I'll be 18 weeks, and that's fine. Like, I felt like that would be good. And what's really sweet about this trip is that I used my mom's airline points to book our plane ticket, to book our rental car, and to book our travel where we're staying. And I've been saving those points since she passed, actually. And I've really needed a reason to use them because they've been sitting there for 5 years. And I thought, oh my gosh, my mom loves Disney so much. We went all the time as a child. It was some of my best and biggest and most happiest core memories. And she would love to see us go and to have Holland Diane get to experience the magic of Disney at 4 years old. How exciting. She talks about it every single day. She is so excited. So I booked that with her grandma's points. And I think that is just so sweet. Like, it makes me feel so good, and I've just needed a really good reason to use them. And I still have a few left, so I'll use those on a really good reason too. But I just think that is so sweet. And so we're really excited. We're going to go to the Magic Kingdom, the Princess Castle and all that, which is gonna be so fun, and ride all the rides. I cannot wait. And then we're either going to do Animal Kingdom or we're going to do Hollywood Studios. And I think we'll probably do Hollywood Studios because it's got so many fun things. Animal Kingdom is super cool too, but it's a lot of walking and it's like a zoo kind of on steroids. And there's, I feel like, a lot more to do at Hollywood Studios. Derek and I actually love Epcot, but it's not for little kids. It's for adults. Really, it's more of an adult theme park, and it's a lot of eating and drinking and walking around and just like kind of subdued rides, where we actually went on when I was pregnant. Do you remember when I announced that I was pregnant? We went to Epcot that day, and that's where we took that picture. So we love Epcot, but I don't think it would be as fun for a child. So we already bought our tickets, and there's 4 theme parks that you can choose from, and so we're going to choose 2 of the 4. So let me know if you have a preference, but we have to do the Magic Kingdom with the Princess Castle and the It's a Small World ride and the Winnie the Pooh and the Ariel ride. She's gonna love it so much. At least I hope she does. And if she doesn't, then I told Derek, like, we can't hold on to any expectations because she is 4 years old, and we'll have to leave the theme park just so she can take an afternoon nap because we'll be so busy and we don't want her to be grouchy. And there might be times when we just hang out at the Airbnb and we don't do anything and just chill. And that's what it is, traveling with a child. So this is the first time we've actually flown with her, so she gets to ride an airplane for the first time. I hope that the government is open again by that time, because it does make me a little wary to travel just with air traffic controllers being disgruntled and everything. But I mean, I am a little bit worried about that, but I'm just gonna I don't know, I was stewing about it a lot the other day, but I'm just gonna keep the faith and just pray that everything goes okay. But it should be fine. But anyway, it's our first time traveling with her, and it should be really good. We're staying at an Airbnb that we've actually stayed at before, so we know where it is and what to do, and like how it's close to everything, and it's gonna be really fun. I think it might be a little chilly to go swimming, but we'll see. Florida that time of year is gonna be, I don't know, like 70 degrees. So it might be borderline. But so while we are there, I think this is the whole thing that I was leading into when we were talking about if it's a boy or it's a girl. While we're there, I want to take a picture there, and we're going to announce it there. So at Disney World, we're going to announce it. So we're either going to get like a drink that is either pink or blue, or we're going to get a cookie or a piece of cake or something, or I might get some little ears that are the color of pink or blue, and we're going to say. So we have known since 10 weeks, because I am considered like geriatric, which I will be 40 in December. So I'm not a spring chicken as far as child rearing goes, but because of that, I have extra appointments and extra tests, and they did some kind of testing at 10 weeks just to check all the chromosomes and to check all the stuff, and it all came back great. But during that, you also find out what the sex is of your baby, and it's very exciting. I did not have a preference at all. I still do not have, I'm very excited for what we are having, but I still do not have, like, either way would have been so fantastic. I just did not. I didn't have a vision in my head of what I thought or hoped. It was just what it was going to be. I know a lot of people, like one of my best friends, she has 2 boys and she wouldn't trade them for the world, but she really, really, really wanted a girl for her second child. And like for me, I thought if we had a boy, that would be so fun. And if we had a girl, that would be so fun. I didn't care one way or the other. So we're very excited about what we're having and very excited to share, but I wanted to save it for that trip. So that's why I haven't said anything. And that's why that's when I'm going to share. So that's what's going on with that. So I want to chat about some other updates that we have going on just in our family and what we're doing. So it was 2 years ago in October that we bought the building that is on this street from my older brother, Daryl, and we are turning that into a studio. And we thought it would take, I don't know, maybe 9 months to restore the building and to get in there. And here we are 2 years later, and Derek is not in there yet, but we are getting very close. It has been horrible trying to get the permitting, trying to get a certificate of occupancy when you're a new person in there and not what the family business was before. The family business was there for like 40 years. And so the permitting and the regulations and all of that stuff in Denver now to start a new business and to put in stuff in a building, in a commercial building, is so much more harder and stringent than it ever was 20 or even 30 years ago. So to get the permitting, Derek has had to jump through so many hoops. He has had to do layouts. He has had to hire architects. He has had to hire people to, I mean, he does almost everything that he can by himself, but he has had to hire so many people to help him figure out all the different things. And there's like 20 different permits and things he has to pass and inspections he has to do. And it has been such a nightmare. It has been really, really, really hard to actually, we thought, oh, well, we're going to buy the building and restore it. It's been in our family for 50 years or 40 years. And we just didn't think it would be that big of a deal. We just thought we'd buy it and we'd open a business there. And turns out, opening a business in Denver, they make you do so much stuff that it's almost like they don't want you to open a business. So he has been just every day sending me screenshots of just all the different things he's done, all the different people he's hired to help with all of this stuff. It has been a financial pit to try and, because we restored the building and that was actually really good, but then all the different hoops he's had to jump through and the inspections and all that stuff and buy and do all the different things to pass all this stuff has been really, really, really hard. And so we're getting very close. We're hoping to actually pass all this stuff, please let's pass all this stuff in the next couple of months and to be moved in January of next year. But that was something that I talked about, that we just have been so excited about. And then it turned into something that was super stressful because it was really, really hard. We have the mortgage that we're paying on the building, and then Derek's also still in his original spot that he pays rent on. So we had both places and he was just juggling so much, and it went on for 2 whole years. And we're getting very close. He showed that a lot of the stuff, He's done a lot of the inspections and we're now just like waiting for the answer, but he's getting very, very, very close. And so send us some good vibes and some good juju, because he really needs to get out of the spot he's in and get into our building so that he's not paying rent and the mortgage on both studios. And that building is such a beautiful building, and it's just sitting there fully restored, sitting there empty. We've thought about like trying to rent it out and stuff like that. But in order to do all that, you need the certificates, and you need all the stuff that he's applying for anyway to have it be like an event space, or to have it, you need all the insurance and all the stuff to have it be a business that is like an event center. So we couldn't do that. So it's just sat there. And well, he's been trying to get all that stuff. So that became for a while a thorn in our side. It was definitely something that was annoying me a lot, because I was like, what's going on? When are we going to get this show on the road? Like, I want to get this done. This has been pretty hard on us, and it's getting a lot better. So we'll let you know. And, just hopefully in the next couple of months, you'll see a post or an announcement, or hopefully it won't be so long before we do another catch-up video, that I let you know that he's moved into the new studio. So if you're new here, my husband is a potter, a ceramicist, as he likes to say, and he teaches lessons. So he has 4 different teachers that work with him, including him, and they teach lessons throughout the day. They do morning and night classes, and then they do private lessons and private parties, and they do different types of firing and all that stuff. So he's super busy, and he does that, and it's so fun for him, and it is his passion. He retired from being a construction worker. He was a driller for construction stuff for his whole life, basically, and his passion was always ceramics. It was what he excelled in school, where he didn't excel in any other areas really, but the ceramics he always was like so passionate about. And it was his hobby, but his passion. And he never figured out how he could make his passion his work. And when I met him, he was trying to make that work, but it didn't work really well. And so he had to go back to the construction job, and he was running his pottery at night. And we actually dated for a couple of years. And then I don't want to say I stepped in and took over, but I am good at figuring things out and figuring out businesses and making nice looking websites and marketing. I'm very good at marketing. And so I said, listen, he thought he was going to make a living selling his pots, which you have to be pretty famous in order to make a whole living selling your pots. And then you have to ship them, and that's really hard. And there was just not enough market domestically here in Denver, Colorado to make that happen. And so I said, you need to start teaching lessons. And the lessons started going well. And so I set him up with a website that's the same one that I have. And we figured out how to make his website look really good and to start offering classes of 8 people. And when that started going well, then I said, okay, now you need to start offering more than one class 3 nights a week. You need to start offering them on different times and on different days, and you need to get another teacher out also to help you do all this. So while he was off teaching his first round of classes, there was a time in our relationship where he taught classes 6 nights a week, So he was working, until 9, 10 o'clock every night of the week, except for like Sundays, and really building his business and working construction by day. And then it got to the point where he got a new boss at the construction place, and they were putting him through all this stuff. And it was during COVID, and it was also while I was pregnant, and he was having all these problems at work. And I said, maybe you're to the point, because your classes are going really well and you have a lot of people asking for more classes. I said, I think you're to the point when you can let go of construction and you can start teaching day classes and night classes and get some more teachers and make ceramics your profession. And I remember the first day that he put in his resignation, and he got up in the morning the next day and put on his shirt that had his business logo on it, and he went to work as a full-time ceramicist. And I think I was around 6 or 7 months pregnant at the time. So a crazy time to be changing careers and doing all that. And it was a great decision. That's what he does. He teaches classes all the time, and it's going really well for him. It would be better if he was in his building that we own. The place that he rents is a wonderful, wonderful place, and he absolutely loves his landlord, but his landlord actually sold that place recently, within the last few months. And so it's just a really good time for him to get out of there. And it always has been, because like paying the mortgage and the rent on 2 places is just really hard. So anyway, we're hoping to make that happen, but that's a little background into Derek's job and what he does and what we do together. But when he moves into this new spot that's on this street right here, it's only 3 doors down from the doll shop. 3 doors down. So that'll be really wonderful for when Holland Diane is older and comes to work with mom or dad. I used to come to work with mom or dad all the time during the summer. I would be down there, I'd be down here, I'd walk between. And I mean, it's like history repeating itself. I think it is so cool. And I think my mom would just be so thrilled to see all of this happening. So we're gonna get there, and we've been manifesting really good things, and hopefully it'll just get there soon. So that is the skinny on what's going on around here. I'd love to know what's going on with you, but it feels so good just to let you know these details and like what's going on behind the scenes and what's going on in our lives around here while we're doing our wonderful job in the doll shop and what we do with dolls. We recently just kind of came back from Ohio, where we did the Ohio National Doll Show with Billy and Gail, and so many wonderful people came to that show. I was really, really, really worried that I would not be able to make it to that show. And I'm so glad I went, even though I was still throwing up. I think I threw up 5 times during that show. And my wonderful, wonderful team, again, swooped in and did all the heavy lifting. All I had to do was come down and do my job and say hi to people and give everybody hugs and do all that and then leave. I mean, what a blessing, what a privilege. So I got to do all that, and I'm so glad I didn't miss that show. That was actually one of the things that I was really worried about early on in my pregnancy, because I had this show coming up that I really wanted to go to, but I didn't think I could at all. And I just kept envisioning myself there, and like envisioning myself getting on that plane and doing the show and then getting on that plane and coming home. And I did all of those things, but there was a couple rough moments at that show where I just didn't feel well. And there was like a big time change, and food was hard to access. Oh, I wanted to fill you in on the food situation with being pregnant too. So this video is we're almost done wrapping it up, but my body metabolizes pregnancy like the same way both times. But when they say like a pregnant person should only have in the beginning an extra 250 or 300 calories a day, that's like 2 glasses of skim milk or like 1 protein bar. And one of the things that tipped me off that I was pregnant is that I would have these waves of voracious hunger. And it wasn't like, oh, you know what, I'm getting a little hungry, I think I'd like to nibble on something. It's like, stop everything, drop everything. It's an emergency. It almost feels like I'm like diabetic or something, because my blood sugar drops, I get shaky, I get sick, I get so sick feeling, and I don't have like pregnancy diabetes. We're tested for all that. It's just the way my body metabolizes pregnancy. So I've fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, it's just the way it is. I have already put on 20 pounds where the recommended weight at this point was like 10. And I'm not asking for any type of advice. I work very closely with my doctor, but I know a lot of you understand, in order for me to like get through my day, and I'm eating very healthy food, and I'm not embarrassed or anything. I am working so hard and trying so hard to be healthy and to do what I need to do to have a healthy pregnancy. My doctor is not worried about the weight whatsoever. My doctor, she knows why I have to eat and when I do, because I literally get so sick. If I don't eat, then I start to feel very nauseous, and then I start throwing up. I have to start throwing up if I don't. So I always have snacks on me. I'm always trying to eat something with a decent amount of protein that will satiate me, so I'm not like eating, donuts and a bunch of junk like that, even though I did have my first donut last Saturday that Derek brought home, which was so fun. But I can't remember the last time I even had a donut. For the most part, I'm trying to eat exactly how I was eating before when I was maintaining my weight loss, but I'm just eating more and more often. And of course, I'm not nearly as strict too. Like if I'm at a kid's birthday party and there's cake there, like I'll have some, or like at work or whatever. But I'm not like sitting here like, oh, I get to eat for 2 because I'm pregnant and like everything's off limits. It's not like that at all. But I just get so sick. And so it was funny because when I got pregnant this time, and I'm not trying to make pregnancy like my entire personality. Like I've probably talked about pregnancy in this video probably for at least half the video. And if you're not into that, I'm sorry, but it is what I am going through, and I will be talking about it a lot, and so many of you understand. But I'm not trying to make it like my whole thing, but it does play such a huge role into my life, how and when I do things, and why I'm not posting, or how I post, or how often I film, or what I am doing and not doing, or like what content I'm able to do, or where I'm able to go. It is all revolves around how I feel and like what's going on inside my body. And I have received so much support from women and from the gay community. Primarily, and also men are straight men have been nice too, but honestly, like the women in the gay community have just been so incredibly supportive. Women have babies every day. Like I don't get an award for doing this, but like when you are going through it, it feels like so much. It feels like so much. So I was talking about the weight gain. Oh, I was going to say, with Holland Diane, I gained 80 pounds. And with this pregnancy, going into it, I was like, well, I'm just going to do everything different. I'm going to only gain 30 pounds and I'm going to exercise and do all this stuff, which I am exercising. I bought an entire treadmill for the doll shop. I'm trying my best. But once it started, once it took over, I had absolutely no control. I was just trying to eat to survive. I'm still eating to survive. I get sick of eating. I'm like, you know what? I just ate. Damn it. Why do I have to eat again? Because I'm feeling lightheaded. I'm feeling nauseous. I need something in my stomach. And my stomach just gobbles up the food immediately. And then I'm like, dang, I just ate, but I have to eat again. So it's just what it is. I realized very early on that I'm not going to be able to, within reason, control this. Like my body knows what it has to do to sustain a healthy pregnancy, and I just have to do whatever I need to do and hopefully net a beautiful child at the end of this. And then I will go back to all of my healthy habits again. I'm not going to hold on to all that weight like it came off last time, but it did take about 3 years, and I will do that again. But I don't know. I think a part of me, even though I know all of you know that I'm pregnant, it's just, I don't know. And this probably sounds really vain, but I really do. It's going to be hard for me at some point to be in videos like feeling and looking like a giant marshmallow. And I know that you're going to love me and support me no matter what. And it's not like, it just matters the least, but it is hard because I don't want to be eating so much, but I have to. And I don't even know why I'm sharing this because you're my friend and I feel like I can. And this is what we would talk about at coffee. And what you would say to me is, you just do the best you can and don't worry about all of that stuff. And that's what I'm going to do. I am doing the absolute best that I can. And so if you're going through something hard, I know pregnancy doesn't, we all have our like things. And so if you're going through something hard, and for me, like I have really hard days doing this and trying to balance it all, just know that these hard days don't last forever and those feelings don't last forever. That was one of the things that I had to talk about in therapy because my mind was telling me that I was going to feel like this forever. And I was going to lose my business and I was going to be a bad mom, like all of these things. And so sometimes your brain just like wants to go in that direction and you have to put a stop to it and just remind yourself that like, that's not true. Is this rooted in truth? Is this true? And so much of the stuff that I was worrying about or telling myself, absolutely not true. And so I started to feel better. And so I just know. But anyway, if you're going through a hard time, just remember I love you and we are here for you at Virtual Doll Convention. We want to be your doll besties. Maybe we don't sell or put out on the internet like what you collect specifically, but we love dolls here. And this is always a safe space to enjoy and do dolls and to share your passion with people and to just know that dolls are such a wonderful thing to do, no matter if you're gay, straight, like whatever orientation you are. I've just dealt with a lot of people that felt like dolls were off limits to them for whatever reason, and they're not. Dolls are for everybody, and I have always said that before, that dolls are for everybody. And if I could invent the perfect career for myself, it would be this. And I am so thankful to share it with you. So just know that we are here for you all the time. We would love to have you on all of our videos. Most of our videos are about dolls, but some of them I just sit here and catch up with you, which are actually some of my favorite ones. And so let's make a pact that I don't go so long between now and the next one because I'm feeling better. And I would actually love to do one of these catch-ups like at least once a month. Let me know. I know that it's not for everybody, but if once a month would be good, or even like twice a month, like every couple of weeks. I think also as my pregnancy progresses, like that could be really fun to share with you how it's going, what's going on. So let me know. I love doing these type of videos. So it always makes me feel really good. It's like a therapy session, really, that I didn't have to pay for. Well, I did because I have an editor that edits it, but it's like a therapy session between friends, and that's how it always feels like. So thank you for being here and enjoying this catch-up video with me. I love you so much, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.